Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today for the midday meditation at Creative Living Fellowship in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. I hope this can be a respite for you in the middle of your day and allow you to make it through the rest of your day in calm and with a peaceful attitude. My name is Dhamana Shauri, and I'm a remote practitioner here at CLF, and I am honored to be taking you on this meditative journey this morning. And today we're going to take a journey of a combined journey of forgiveness and grace. Those two are very easily combined. And I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do, so I'm going to do both of them. So I hope you will I know you will get something from it. Whatever you need to get from it, you will get. And hopefully it will allow you to have some aha moments later today or in the week or down the road that will do you some good. So first you'll hear the sound of the ancient Om chant, and then we will go into the meditation. After the guided meditation, you will hear silence. And that will again be followed up by the ancient Om chant as we wrap up. So do whatever you need to do to be fully present, because I don't want you to miss one juicy bit of today's meditation. Whether you need to clear your lap or put your feet flat on the floor, whatever you need to do for you to be fully present and take advantage of this midday meditation. We are so glad you joined us. So as we clear our thoughts and go deeper into that still, small space, take a deep breath with me. In and out. And let us exhale out any thought other than this moment right here. So as I said, we're going to take a journey. You know how much I like journeys. A journey of forgiveness and grace. Because probably everyone listening to this, including myself, has something we can forgive ourselves or someone else for. But sometimes when we're little children, we get messages like an eye for an eye, or if they hit you, you hit them back harder. And we hold on to those messages sometimes. But we need to stop and ask, is that doing me any good? Because there's another message. An eye for an eye leaves both of us blind. And how does that help anyone? Short answer is, it doesn't. So let us have a more uplifted response to any kind of conflict, discord, or disagreement. Maybe you think you've been snubbed by someone, didn't get an invitation you thought you'd get, didn't get a gift you thought you'd get, didn't get a phone call or a thank you you thought you'd get. And so you're angry. And it's okay to be angry, but what do you do with that anger? Do you accept responsibility for the anger? Because no one made you angry. You made a choice to stay angry if that's what you do. Something else you can do is let it go. Put yourself in the other person's position. Have you ever done something that disappointed someone? Have you ever not come through when you said you would? I'm certain the answer is yes, if you're being honest. So how would you want someone to treat you when you've done those things? And I'm sure you would want to be forgiven and treated with grace. So let's give what we want to receive. Grace. And it's easy to say you're going to get them back or to have that attitude of revenge, of vengeance. But as the Buddha says, seeking revenge is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. And we know they don't. Quite often, when we're trying to get revenge for something, the other person isn't even aware that they are the object of our revenge. They're not. So your anger, your vengeance, does absolutely nothing for you, and it doesn't do anything to them. So let's do something that is for our own upliftment. Let's let it go and release them with grace. And if you can't summon up grace within yourself, do it with God's grace. God's grace is always present. And moving beyond revenge, the South African hero Nelson Mandela says the same thing about anger, that having anger is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. And again, they don't. I'm sure if you go back and think about people you've been angry with, particularly if it's a long-held anger, they don't even know you're angry. They may have forgotten you ever were angry. And they probably don't know what you're angry about. So that anger is not doing anything for you. And what it's really doing is being a block to you moving forward. It's keeping you from having an open heart. Because if your heart is closed to that person, then your heart is closed. You can't have a little bitty opening in your heart. It's either open or it's not. So open up your heart and do yourself some good. If someone takes your favorite parking space at work, unless your name's on it, it's not yours, right? Everybody at the company might know that you like to park in row 3, section 8. And you get there and there's another car there. So what? Too bad. Park somewhere else. That one act of change may help you create new pathways in your brain. And that's a wonderful thing. It might inspire you to park somewhere different every single day. Start some new practices in your life. And if not, why not? Spirit and change are the only 2 things we can count on in life. Spirit and change. Everlasting. Never ending. Infinite. So let's look at another example. You don't get invited to a wedding that you were sure you would be invited to. You're upset. That person was invited to your wedding. You should be invited to theirs. Or should you? Maybe you haven't talked in months or years. Maybe you have had no contact about what's going on in that person's life. Maybe they simply don't feel connected to you the way you thought they would. And maybe their numbers are very low. Maybe they're having 25 guests and you were number 26. Again, don't take things so personally. Put yourself in their position. Have you ever wanted to do something that just didn't work out? And maybe someone was disappointed. Maybe you've been in a situation where you had a gathering, a birthday party, a wedding, a housewarming, and there were people who you would like to have included, but the numbers simply weren't there. It wasn't personal. And you hope they understand it wasn't personal. And so if you hoped that of them, give that grace to your friend who didn't invite you. Love them beyond that one action. Isn't the relationship worth that? Isn't there enough good to help you let go of what you think of as a slight? Forgiveness and grace. Perhaps there's someone that gets on your last nerve, the very last one you've got. And you just don't see how you can possibly forgive them. And certainly not with grace. So I want you to, I'm going to give you some homework. See that person and want for that person what you want for someone near and dear to you. Could be your spouse, significant other, friend, family member, a child, a grandchild. How would you want someone to treat your beloved? I'm certain you would not want them to be treated with anger, resentment, And you certainly wouldn't want anyone to seek revenge. So give yourself that gift. Do what you would like to receive for you or a loved one, because that's your highest expression. What would love do? And in case you have any question about that answer, love would forgive. Love would show grace. So as we go into the silence, I'd like for you to ponder that. Is there anyone who you feel you want to forgive? And is there someone you'd like to be forgiven by? It's a cycle. And your chances of being forgiven by someone, if that's what you want, are mightily increased if you are able and willing to forgive. Again, with grace. So surrender to the idea of forgiveness and grace, and see what you can do as you go more deeply into the silence, and see your best effort, your highest expression in the area of forgiveness and grace. So as we release the silence, let's again take a deep breath in and out. I hope your journey today left you with something to think about. And as I've said before, so much of what is in our head is story, not fact, story. So let's create some stories that do us some good, stories that uplift us, stories that allow us to allow spirit to move in, through, and as us. Thank you for joining us for today's midday meditation. And please tell your friends about us. Give them the gift of this break in their day. And we hope to see you again. Thank you.